Ladies and gentlemen, life has a beautiful way of teaching us, but often the lessons come disguised in failures. We are so afraid of making mistakes, of falling short of expectations, that we forget the power in embracing them. Today I want to tell you, fail fast, learn faster. You see, failure isn't the end of the road. It's not a sign of weakness or defeat. It's an opportunity, an invitation to discover something deeper about yourself. Each time we fall, we learn something we couldn't have learned any other way. That's why you must embrace failure and move through it quickly. Don't let it paralyze you. The quicker you fall, the faster you can pick yourself up again. And that's where the growth happens. The sooner you face your failure, the sooner you can pivot, adjust, and come back stronger. You don't need to be afraid of making mistakes. What you should be afraid of is not learning from them. We are all going to stumble. We are all going to experience moments of doubt. But if we choose to learn from those moments, we transform them into the greatest lessons of our lives. Success is not about avoiding failure. It's about how you respond when you fail. The faster you recover, the more you learn, and the quicker you move toward your next achievement. It's in the resilience, the willingness to keep going despite the obstacles, that we find the strength to succeed. So I challenge you today. Don't wait for the perfect moment. Don't wait for the conditions to be just right. Go after what you want, and if you fail, fail fast. Learn faster, and use that knowledge to drive you forward. Keep going. You're closer than you think. Failure is something many of us fear. We live in a society that often associates failure with weakness, inadequacy, and defeat. From a young age, we're taught to strive for perfection, to be the best, and to avoid mistakes at all costs. But here's the truth. Failure is not the enemy. In fact, it's one of the best teachers you will ever encounter. If we can reframe how we see failure, we unlock the key to rapid personal and professional growth. When we fail, we're presented with a unique opportunity to learn, adapt, and evolve. Failure gives us insight into areas where we may need improvement, areas where we can push ourselves harder, or areas where we need to pivot. But only if we embrace it with an open heart. The key to growing through failure is understanding that it's not something to be avoided, but something to be experienced and learned from. Each failure is a lesson that moves us closer to where we want to go. It's all about how we approach failure. If we view it as an ending or a sign that we're not good enough, we close ourselves off to the lessons it's trying to teach us. But if we see failure as a natural part of the journey, something that happens on the road to success, we start to see it in a different light. Failure becomes a necessary step in the process of learning and evolving. It's a tool that we can use to build resilience, to discover what we're truly capable of, and to understand our own limits, so we can push beyond them. What's fascinating is that failure doesn't just teach us about the task at hand, it also teaches us about ourselves. It shows us how we handle adversity, how we react to stress, and what our core beliefs about success and achievement really are. Sometimes we think we know ourselves, but failure shines a light on hidden strengths and weaknesses we might not have known existed. When we fail, we're often forced to confront uncomfortable truths about ourselves. And it's in that discomfort where real growth happens. Consider the entrepreneurs, the creatives, the athletes, and the innovators who have achieved remarkable success. The stories you hear about their accomplishments often skip over the many failures they experienced along the way. What the world sees is the final product, the success that's been polished and perfected. But the truth is, behind every success is a trail of failures, the setbacks, the missteps, the times they felt like giving up. Yet, what sets them apart is how they used those failures to fuel their determination and hone their craft. For example, Thomas Edison, one of the greatest inventors in history, failed thousands of times before he succeeded in creating the light bulb. When asked about his countless failures, Edison famously said, "I have not failed, I've just found 1,000,000 ways that won't work." His failure didn't define him, it refined him. He understood that each failure brought him one step closer to his breakthrough. Well, and without those failures, he might never have made the discoveries that changed the world. Failure also teaches us to be humble and resilient. It's easy to stay motivated when things are going well, but it's in the times of failure where true character is built. Every failure we face is an opportunity to practice patience, to tap into our inner strength, and to remind ourselves that setbacks are not permanent. What matters is how we rise from them. Failure, when embraced, becomes the building block of resilience, perseverance, and eventual success. The truth is, failure is not something to fear, something to accept and move through quickly. The faster we experience it, the faster we learn from it, and the faster we get closer to our goals. Each mistake is a gift. It's the universe's way of showing us a better path, a more efficient approach, or a deeper understanding of what we're capable of. The key is to approach failure with a growth mindset, a mindset that says, "I will learn from this. I will use this to propel me forward." When we can embrace failure as a necessary part of the journey, we begin to move through life with less fear and more confidence. We stop seeing failure as a reflection of our abilities and start seeing it as a reflection of our resilience, our determination, and our willingness to keep going. Ultimately, the ability to fail fast and learn faster is what separates those who achieve greatness from those who give up. So the next time you stumble, don't shy away from the experience. Step into it, learn from it, and grow through it. Remember, failure is not the end. It's just the beginning of something even better. Failure is a natural part of life, and the speed with which we recover from it determines the rate of our personal and professional growth. When we fail, it's easy to become discouraged and allow the setback to define our path. But here's the truth. The quicker we bounce back from failure, the faster we move toward success. Recovery is not just about getting over the setback. It's about learning from it, adapting to it, and coming out stronger on the other side. The ability to recover quickly is a skill that can be developed and refined, and it is a key differentiator between those who achieve their goals and those who get stuck in the face of adversity. Think of failure as a hurdle. You may stumble, but the key is how quickly you can get back on your feet and continue running toward your goals. Those who recover quickly don't linger in self-pity or get lost in negative thoughts. Instead, they embrace failure as an opportunity to learn, adapt, and improve. They know that every setback is temporary, and that their resilience and determination are what will carry them forward. The ability to recover quickly is rooted in mindset. A growth mindset is essential for swift recovery. People with a growth mindset see failure as a learning experience, a chance to improve and evolve. They don't allow a single failure to define their abilities or dictate their future. Instead, they view failure. This mindset shift is crucial for moving through failure quickly and effectively. The moment you accept that failure is a part of the process, it becomes easier to bounce back, because you no longer see it as a devastating setback, but as a natural part of the journey. One of the reasons why quick recovery is so important is that it prevents failure from becoming a roadblock. If you stay stuck in the negative emotions associated with failure, you risk allowing that failure to dictate your next steps. You may hesitate, second-guess yourself, or even give up altogether. The longer you dwell on failure, the more power you give it over your actions. On the other hand, when you recover quickly, you regain control over your situation. You stop allowing failure to have a hold over you and instead take immediate action toward your next step. To recover quickly, it's also important to be self-compassionate. Often, when we fail, we are our own harshest critics. We beat ourselves up over mistakes, questioning our abilities and worth. But this inner criticism only prolongs the recovery process. Self-compassion is the antidote to this. Being kind to yourself in the face of failure helps you regain your confidence and move forward with a clearer mind. It allows you to acknowledge your mistakes, but not to let them define you. Instead, you use them as fuel to propel yourself forward with renewed focus and determination. Another key to recovering quickly is taking immediate action. After failure, it's easy to want to retreat or procrastinate, but the sooner you take action, the quicker you'll regain momentum. Action forces you to move past the disappointment and redirect your energy toward progress. Even small steps forward can help you feel like you're back on track, and they help to break the cycle of negative thinking that often accompanies failure. By taking immediate action, you're not allowing failure to linger in your mind and hold you back. You're actively moving toward your next success. Quick recovery also requires adaptability. When things don't go as planned, the ability to adjust your approach is essential. Sometimes, failure shows us that our original plan isn't working, and we need to be flexible enough to pivot. This doesn't mean giving up on our goals, but rather finding a new way to reach them. The quicker we can recognize when something isn't working and adjust accordingly, the faster we can move forward. Adaptability is a sign of strength, not weakness, and it's a crucial skill to develop if you want to fail fast and learn faster. In fact, the faster you recover, the more you accelerate your growth. Each time you bounce back, you're strengthening your ability to handle setbacks in the future. The more resilient you become, the more easily you'll move past failure and continue progressing toward your goals. Recovery becomes a cycle of growth, where every failure brings you closer to the person you need to be in order to succeed. Ultimately, the ability to recover quickly is not just about bouncing back from failure, but about using that failure as a stepping stone to something greater. The faster you recover, the more you learn, and the more equipped you are to handle the challenges that lie ahead. Recovery is not just a reaction to failure, it's a proactive decision to keep moving, to keep learning, and to keep improving. The quicker you can recover, the faster you will learn, and the faster you will achieve the success you desire. Failure is not something that should be feared or avoided. It's an essential part of the process of growth and success. And within every failure lies an opportunity for adaptation and innovation. When things don't go as planned, it's not a sign to give up. Instead, it's a sign to rethink, adjust, and evolve. The best way to move forward faster after failure is by embracing the lessons it offers and using them to innovate, adapt, and refine your approach. Innovation often arises from necessity. When things go wrong, it forces us to think differently. It's in these moments that we're challenged to come up with new solutions, explore different strategies, and break away from the conventional ways of thinking. Think of some of the most groundbreaking inventions and discoveries in history. They didn't come from perfection. They came from failure, trial, error, and then finally adaptation. Failure pushes us out of our comfort zone, creating the conditions in which new ideas can flourish. If we are willing to embrace these moments, we open ourselves up to innovation and progress. It's easy to continue doing things the way we've always done them, especially when we're succeeding. But when failure occurs, it disrupts the status quo and forces us to evaluate our methods. In these moments of disruption, we are called to be innovative. We may find that the way we were doing things wasn't the most efficient or effective. Maybe there's a better way. Failure is the perfect opportunity to evaluate our approach, examine what worked and what didn't, and make the necessary adjustments. In many ways, failure acts as a reset button, offering us the chance to reevaluate, innovate, and improve. Innovation doesn't always mean reinventing the wheel. Sometimes it's simply about making small adjustments and improvements that will make a big difference in the long run. After a failure, it's important to take a step back, analyze what went wrong, and figure out what can be changed to make things better. This process of reflection and adaptation allows us to learn from our mistakes and apply those lessons to our future endeavors. Even if we fail again, the knowledge we gain from these iterations makes us stronger and more capable of eventually achieving our goals. One of the keys to embracing innovation after failure is to be open-minded and flexible. We have to let go of the idea that there is one right way to succeed. Instead, we must remain open to trying new things and being adaptable when faced with challenges. This mindset is vital because it allows us to pivot quickly, find new strategies, and keep moving forward. Innovation requires us to think outside the box, to take risks, and to be willing to change our approach if necessary. In fact, some of the greatest breakthroughs have come from individuals or organizations who were not afraid to question the status quo and pursue a new direction after facing setbacks. Moreover, failure doesn't just give us the opportunity to innovate in terms of processes or strategies, it also opens the door to personal innovation. It challenges us to adapt our mindset, shift our perspectives, and rethink our priorities. Failure forces us to reflect on our values and what truly matters. Are we willing to try again? Are we ready to embrace the discomfort and uncertainty that comes with starting over or adjusting our goals? The innovation after failure isn't only about external changes, it's also about internal transformation. When we face setbacks, we are given the chance to reassess our approach to life, work, and relationships. One of the most powerful aspects of innovation is that it drives us to keep going, even in the face of repeated failure. Innovation requires perseverance, the willingness to keep experimenting, adjusting, and learning from each failure. With each iteration, we become more skilled, more knowledgeable, and more resilient. As we innovate, we gain more insight into our strengths, weaknesses, and potential, which ultimately makes us more capable of achieving our long-term goals. Adapting and innovating after failure doesn't guarantee that we won't fail again, but it does guarantee that we will be better prepared the next time. Each failure teaches us something new, and each time we apply that learning, we move closer to success. Failure is no longer something to fear. It becomes a tool for innovation, a catalyst for growth. And so we shall be happy. When we learn to innovate and adapt in the face of failure, we unlock our true potential. We stop being defeated by setbacks and start using them as stepping stones toward our ultimate goals. Innovation, whether external or internal, is what enables us to transform failure into an opportunity. It's through adaptation that we discover new ways of doing things, new approaches to challenges, and new paths to success. The key is to keep moving forward, learning from each experience, and embracing the possibility of innovation at every turn. In doing so, we build a stronger, more resilient foundation for success. In our journey through life, the ability to learn from failure quickly and recover is essential for growth. But this process doesn't end once we've identified what went wrong. The true test lies in how we apply those lessons and move forward with a more refined approach. To truly progress after failure, it's not enough to simply reflect. We must take immediate action. It is through taking swift and decisive action that we begin to turn our failures into the building blocks of our future success. Action is a powerful force. When we experience failure, it's natural to feel uncertain or hesitant. But the longer we wait to act, the more likely we are to become stuck in a cycle of overthinking and self-doubt. The key to breaking free from this cycle is to take action immediately, even if it's just a small step. It's this willingness to act, even in the face of failure, that accelerates our learning and keeps us moving toward our goal. Inaction, on the other hand, breeds frustration and stagnation. The longer we avoid taking action, the further we drift from our goals. One of the main reasons action is so critical after failure is that it helps break the emotional grip failure can have on us. When we fail, it's easy to become overwhelmed by feelings of disappointment, shame, or fear. These emotions, if allowed to fester, can prevent us from moving forward. Taking action, however, shifts the focus away from the emotions tied to failure and redirects our energy toward solutions. It reminds us that failure is not the end, but simply a part of the process. Even if our actions are not perfect, they help us regain momentum and restore a sense of control over our circumstances. Furthermore, taking action after failure reinforces the idea that we are not victims of our circumstances, but active participants in shaping our future. Every time we choose to take action, we reclaim our power. It shows that we're not allowing one setback to define our journey. Instead, we are showing up for ourselves, committing to improvement, and taking responsibility for our progress. This proactive mindset is essential for turning failure into a positive force for growth. Another benefit of immediate action is that it prevents us from dwelling too long on what went wrong. It's easy to get caught up in analyzing every mistake, trying to pinpoint what could have been done differently. While reflection is important, excessive rumination can lead to paralysis. The key is to balance reflection with action. By taking small steps forward, we prevent ourselves from being consumed by negative thoughts and instead focus on what we can do to move ahead. Even if the action is not perfect, it's a step in the right direction and provides valuable feedback that we can use to refine our approach. The more we take action, the more we learn, and the faster we progress. Each step, no matter how small, is an opportunity to gather information, adjust our strategy, and improve our skills. With every attempt, we grow more confident and capable. This iterative process is where real progress happens. We often learn more from doing than from overthinking. The feedback we receive from our actions, whether positive or negative, gives us the insights we need to keep evolving. Immediate action also helps us build resilience. By responding to failure with action, we train ourselves to persevere, to keep going even when things don't go as planned. Resilience is not about never failing, but about continuing to act, to adjust, and to move forward in the face of setbacks. The more we practice this, the more resilient we become. We begin to view failure not as a roadblock, but as a natural part of the journey, an opportunity to learn, adapt, and keep pushing forward. Taking action after failure also sets an example for others. When people see us taking immediate action despite the setback, it inspires them to do the same. It creates a ripple effect of positive energy and encourages a culture of growth and resilience. Our actions have the power to influence those around us, motivating them to embrace failure as a learning opportunity rather than a reason to quit. Ultimately, the speed at which we take action after failure is directly related to our ability to learn and grow. When we act quickly, we keep the momentum going and continue to make progress. The longer we delay, the harder it becomes to regain that momentum. By making a habit of taking immediate action, we create a cycle of continuous improvement and growth. Failure becomes less about the setback and more about the opportunity for growth, learning, and adaptation. It's this ability to take action no matter the circumstances that propels us towards success. So after every failure, don't wait for perfection. Act, learn, and keep moving forward.